G'day everyone. Just fucking up pretty early. Little fella couldn't sleep, but I've been thinking about fucking all this Trump stuff, right? Now, for anyone out there going, oh, fucking, why are you doing this, you mate? You're gonna split your crowd. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm not a dancing monkey for fucking my fans. You know, I get people writing, oh, I've followed you since the fucking beginning. I can't believe you said. Like, am I, because you watch all my videos for free, am I meant to then return the pleasure you give me by fucking giving you exactly opinions that you agree with? No, fucking no. I mean, how could I do that for a million people? And there's no way I'm going to do it on another page anymore, because fucked if I'm going to talk to the converted. I'm not going to, do a Meryl Streep and just get up in front of fucking crowds that fucking agree with her and suck up the applause. No, I want to make a difference, like a lot of people these days. And to make a difference, it's not about shouting people down and just fucking ignoring them. It's about fucking exchanging ideas, rational ideas, not threatening violence or anything like that. So this whole Trump issue, it's the number one issue in the world, is this this ban he's making. Now, the right wing and the left wing, fuck man, they are just fucking old battle lines now. It's about people who are against globalism and people who just don't get that issue. That's what it is. Now, it's not a racial globalism. Now, this ban Trump's put on, a lot on the left are basically calling it a Muslim ban, right? And you go, nah, it's not a Muslim ban, because if it was a Muslim ban, Muslims wouldn't be allowed into America, full stop. And then they sort of go, oh, okay, you got me there. No, they don't say you got me there. They just go over the top and go, it's getting to the stage now where if you agree with Trump, you're a Nazi, because people are thinking he's a fucking Nazi. Trump's a fucking Nazi. That's the end argument. It's like fucking, people on for Trump are just calling liberal people mentally ill, which I don't agree with either. Mental illness is not something you can diagnose with a blood test or anything. It's based on the opinion of a psych, and they'll just fucking drug you if you come in and fucking ask for help. So, I think it's really dangerous labelling people with a mental illness because they've got an opinion that's different to you. And also, I think it's really dangerous labelling people Nazi because they support Trump, because they think Trump's a Nazi. Fucking Nazi. like, America has just spent the last 20 years just raiding other countries, just going into the other side of the world and bombing the fuck out of them, taking over their country. And the only difference between that and what Nazi Germany did was that, at least fucking Hitler just fucking went next door, where, the Germans were getting hammered in Poland. You got sucker punched into the war. And, Hitler had some resistance. America's had no fucking resistance. Bombing the fuck out. And now you got a president who just goes, oh, we'll just put a stop to people from those countries coming in for a while until we work out what's going on. Like, there's nothing similar at all to Nazi Germany. I mean, Hitler telegraphed his intent to ban Jews and round them up 20 years before in his book Mein Kampf. But Trump hasn't done this in halfway through the art of the deal. He doesn't just go, oh, by the way, I reckon all Muslims should be rounded up. Muslims are not going to be fucking rounded up. Fucking gay people aren't going to be rounded up. Women aren't going to be rounded up. Fucking, he's just going to support Americans no matter what the fuck you do. Look at Caitlyn Jenner. She's basically said that supporting Trump and the Republican Party was a harder thing than coming out as a transgender. I mean, people support all these liberal agendas in the new alternate right now. They just don't believe in legislating it. I don't believe in can't legislate prejudice, fucking ban it. That's fascism, man. You can't just tell people what to think. So, yeah, to all the people out there fucking getting on this fucking, oh yeah, Liberals are fucking brainwashed and got a mental illness. Nah, and all the people saying that if you support Trump, you're a fascist, fucking Nazi. This is just completely insane, man. I mean, look at Trump, man. He's a complete outsider. If you fucking get past your daddy issues and your fucking issues with the patriarchy, you know, the only reason you associate that with Trump is because he's white, he's male, he's born rich, and he's been successful, and he's got a good-looking wife, and all these things which you think, well, if he's that, he must be a cunt. I mean, none of those factors are worthy of having someone being prejudiced against you. None of them. It's completely ridiculous. And if you look past that, he's a complete outsider. The Republican Party hates him. The Democrat Party hates him. The media hates him. The courts hate him. Fucking everyone hates him except the people. And if you I want to say dumb, but if you think that people hate him because they've got hatred in their heart and they identify him, you're just projecting that hatred. You're projecting all the things you haven't achieved in life or fucking anything. This guy is fucking copping it from all sides. This guy is the outsider. Now, a lot of people are going, well, you know, oh, he's got Goldman Sachs, he's an insider. Goldman Sachs did not give 1 cent to Trump in his campaign. It went to all to Hillary. So, you know, if you know anything about politics, all these big companies, they pay off all the sides, so they're all in their pocket. You know, Australia, they do it. You know, someone like Packer gives to the Liberal, Labor, even Bob Catter. So, you know, they haven't given a cent to Trump because they had no interest in him winning. Now, Trump's got in, and he's got some ex-Goldman Sachs people in there. I mean, fuck, man, these people, just because you work for Goldman Sachs or you're inside the system, it doesn't mean you fucking hate it, you know. Just because you work for a coal company, you know, and you get a good wage and you can buy all your toys, doesn't mean there's some part of you that goes, this is pretty fucked, and you want to change it. The people within the system are going to change it, and that's going to be the difference between a bloody revolution and one that's a lot smoother. Now, this is, you know, like, who the fuck is he going to get as his key positions? Is he going to just go down to a local doof rave in the forest and just, you know, walk around, then go up to the guy with the fucking, or the woman with the fucking dreadlocks and the fucking fire twirling and go, look, mate, I've been talking to everyone, and I heard that you were the person who stood out on the pavement the most during this Occupy thing. And, you know, so, and the guy goes, oh yeah, or the girl goes, oh yeah. And Trump goes, well, mate, I want you to be fucking Secretary of State because you're perfect, man. You're good at fucking doing fuck all, you know. And then when you get a bit of energy, you're good at protesting. And when you fucking get full of rage, you can fucking riot. I want you in there in my administration. No, this is fucking a guy who wants to get things done. So he hires people and says, you fucking do this, man. And if you don't, I'll fire you. He's set it up so that once you've got a government position, you can't go back into your ex-industry. So for 5 years, he's stopping lobbying. This guy is doing a torpedo on the system from within and setting people free from this globalism, which is just destroying first world countries by annihilating their borders. There is no fucking border. If I've got this Facebook page and I do an open border thing, man, I've got so many fans writing in going, can you fucking advertise my lost dog or my business or this or that? It's like, if I let people do that, it turns into a fucking public notice board. And no one will fucking write in requesting me to put stuff on there, of their stuff on my fucking page, because it'll be a fucking shit page. They'll go to someone else. It's like, you know, if I hand it over to sponsors, they'll just fucking plug their agenda. If I can't tell my opinion on this page, how the fuck is it for mainstream media, who gets pretty well 100% of their income from sponsors, multinationals, who've got an interest in not offending fucking anyone so they can sell to everyone. And that's been fucking fueled by the central banks who need positive interest rates. They need consumerism to get to this point where they are now. It's a battle now. This is as big as Cromwell and the French Revolution, the American Revolution. This is a battle to free yourself from the fucking oppressive system that's happening. You just follow the money to the central banks. They've got a monopoly on creating money. This thing, which has got a pretty big influence on fucking everyone. So aside from people like John Walker, who walks around Australia for the last 40 years, no ID, he just fucking walks. Never seen a doctor in 30 years, 40 years. Hasn't needed to. So, fuck man, we've been told we need all this shit, which we don't. So, Trump, man, he is fucking the man. And fucking all I'm saying is, instead of shouting down people who don't like Trump, go to his fucking page, read what he said. Just read deeply what the opposition is saying. And I'm looking deeply into what people who don't like Trump are saying, and it just doesn't go anywhere beyond fucking you fucking racist and all this fucking name calling and just just shutting people off, telling them to fuck off. And man, he's the fucking president. He's having a go, and I think fucking everyone should have a go at least fucking understanding why people have voted for him. And it's not because they fucking want to oppress humanity. It's because they want to fucking free humanity.